Alright, so let's solve another popular LeetCode question today, which is merge intervals. So they say we are given an array of intervals where each interval contains a pair, start and end, and they want us to merge all overlapping intervals and return an array of the non-overlapping intervals, which will still cover all the intervals in the input. If you look at this example now, we see the input and the output. This interval at 0 was merged with interval at 1 because the end in this interval 0 is greater than the start in this interval 1, so we merge them together, while the rest are pretty much normal. So let's try to visualize it so that we can understand better. Alright, I have our example 1 here, and to proceed to solving this problem, the first thing we have to do is to sort our array first, our intervals array. And after that, we are sorting based on the start in each interval, which is this, this, and this. Now when it's sorted, we want to initialize two variables, start and end. Our start will simply be the first interval start, and our end will be the first interval's end. Now we loop starting from the next interval to the end. We now check if our end is greater than our current start. It means that there is an overlap. We now need to update our end to be the max, the maximum between the end itself, which is 3 in this case, and 6, making our end to be 6, and our start remains 1. Now we check again. If our 6 is greater than our current index now, which is 8, that's not the case, so we simply add our 1 and 6 to our final array. Because it's no longer overlapping there. Now we update our start and end to be 8 and 10. We now check if our end, let me just write this here, is greater than this. It's not the case, meaning there is no overlap. We now add our start and end again as a new array to our final non-overlapping result. And now we update our start and end to be 15 and 18, but there is no next interval after here, so we simply just append to our final non-overlapping array our start and end after the loop. So that's it for the visualization. Let's now proceed to writing the code so we can understand better. Alright, as we saw, the first thing we want to do now is to sort our intervals array. So we do and after that we initialize our final result, which is the non-overlapping intervals. So we can do, then we initialize our start and end. The first interval start and end at 0 starts, which is 0, and at 0 again, but 1, which is end. We now loop starting from the next interval. So we can do for index in range 1 to the length of Now we check if our end is less than our current interval start. There is no overlap, so we add our start and end to our result. And update our start and end variables. Now outside this if statement, we update our end to be the maximum between the end itself and our current interval end. So we can do now we update the final start and end. We append it to our array. Then simply return our results. So that's it for the solution. Now let's try to run the code and check if it works. Alright, as we can see, it works and it's efficient as well. And the time complexity of the program is big O of n log n because of the sorting we did. And that's it for this video. See you guys on the next one.